What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, December 7th, 2023, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. So, before I continue with the breaking news, I want to just give a thanks to Tamara H. and Douglas P. for donating to my PayPal. Thank you very much. So, Britain has decided to deploy an additional 1,000 troops of the British Army to the Middle East. And this was confirmed by the British Ministry of Defense. So, this is huge news, guys. Britain is going to be sending an additional 1,000 soldiers to the Middle East. They've already sent various types of warships. They've already sent some of their special ops. They've already sent some conventional forces. Now they're sending an additional 1,000 troops. So that's definitely a sign that things could escalate in the near future. And if you missed my live stream last night, I recommend you rewatch it because I went over a lot of important information, but I want to just summarize some of the main points from my live stream last night if you missed it. So, the Venezuelan government has given ExxonMobil and other Western oil companies that have platforms and operations off the coast of Guyana up to 3 months to vacate from Guyana's territorial waters. And the Venezuelan parliament is going to be voting on a law any day now to officially annex the western part of Guyana. But the leader of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, already held up a new map of Venezuela that showed the western part of Guyana as being part of Venezuela. And last night on my stream, I shared a fresh video that just came out yesterday of Brazilian forces being moved to the border of Venezuela and Guyana. So here you can see a bunch of trucks. Look at all these trucks, guys. You got dozens of trucks here on this road, Brazilian army trucks. So Brazil is getting ready for the worst. And apparently, they're deploying one of their jungle infantry brigades. And they're also moving some heavy armor, including Leopard tanks. Okay, so we have to keep a close eye on this part of the world. And Sellafield, which is one of the most hazardous nuclear sites in Europe, apparently developed a leak in a large radioactive waste silo that has prompted concerns about the facility's safety measures, as well as potential dangers to the environment. And this is the same nuclear site that was hacked a few days ago. This is in the UK, not too far from Scotland. So apparently, they developed some kind of a leak at a radioactive waste silo now, just days after being hacked. So I don't know if that's related to the hack or not, but this was reported by the UK Guardian. And NATO is expected to proceed with an update of all of their defense plans, specifically for the protection of the Baltic countries, as all alliance analysts show that sooner or later there will be a confrontation with Russia. Okay, so this is huge, guys. Basically, all NATO analysts are saying that sooner or later there will be a confrontation with Russia. Not if, okay, it will happen, okay? And this is coming just days after the chief of Poland's National Security Council said that NATO has just 3 years to prepare the eastern flank of NATO for a showdown with Russia, which is a much more aggressive time frame than what the German experts were saying. They were saying 5 to 10 years. Poland is saying they only have 3 years to prevent Russia from invading the eastern part of NATO, or to actually get ready for a war with NATO on the eastern flank. And I think it's coming, guys. The other day, Putin threatened Latvia, okay? And he specifically said that if Latvia continues their anti Russian policies, then there's going to be repercussions for that, okay? He didn't say specifically what those repercussions are going to be, but it was very chilling to hear him say that. So it's possible that Russia may attack the Baltics very soon. And, we've been seeing Russia moving a lot of equipment into Kaliningrad the last few months. And Russia has thousands of troops in Belarus. They have probably at least 250,000 troops in Kaliningrad. They have nuclear weapons in Kaliningrad. They have ballistic missiles in Kaliningrad. They have ballistic missiles now with nuclear warheads on them in Belarus as well. They also have nuclear weapons in Belarus that they can launch from fighter jets. So Russia's preparing for something. What that is, I don't know, but they're gearing up for it, okay? They've already trained the Belarus Air Force on how to deliver nuclear weapons. They've already moved like 50,000 Russian troops into Belarus, close to Poland and Lithuania. So they're preparing for something, guys, okay? And in case you missed my stream last night, we had 4 B-52 nuclear bombers airborne over the United States yesterday. And at the same time, we had several nuclear war command and control planes in the air. Last night, we had 4 nuclear war command and control planes in the air, and we had a total of 4 B-52 nuclear bombers in the air, and one of them was getting aerially refueled. So here you can see the 4 nuclear war command and control planes in the air. These planes are responsible for remotely launching all of our Minuteman III ICBMs and for communicating with our submerged nuclear armed submarines. And to have 4 of them up in the air is definitely unusual. And here we have 1 B-52 off the coast of California near San Francisco. And then this was earlier yesterday afternoon, and you can see 3 B-52s here and also a nuke sniffer that flew from Offutt Air Base to Colorado Springs. Now, Colorado Springs is where we have one of our continuity of government sites, the Cheyenne Mountain Complex, which is a giant doomsday bunker for Congress and other VIPs. So very interesting for a nuke sniffer to fly from Offutt Air Base to Colorado Springs at the same time as 3 B-52s were airborne and a nuclear war command and control plane. And here you could see the 3 B-52s that were airborne at the same time yesterday afternoon over South Dakota and Wyoming. And one of them actually got aerially refueled, which is pretty rare. And last night, we also had a U.S. reconnaissance drone flying off the coast of Wallops Island, which is a space launch facility. And my guess is this could be related to the X-37B launch, which is that super secretive space plane that's able to orbit the Earth for years at a time. And its last mission, it orbited the Earth for 900 days, and now they're saying that this mission could be over 1,000 days, that this plane is going to just circle around the Earth, and it's unmanned, and nobody knows what its mission is. But it was supposed to launch today, and they moved it to the 10th, but I'm guessing this is probably related to that launch, or maybe not. I don't know. And we had a U.S. reconnaissance plane patrolling the Persian Gulf last night. Here you can see it going up and down along the Iranian coastline here. And here we have the reconnaissance plane. And then also there was a reconnaissance drone flying along the Lebanese coastline. So here's the U.S. reconnaissance drone, and you can see that it was focusing its attention on Lebanon, and it was going back and forth, not really focusing on Israel or Gaza at all, but basically focusing entirely on Lebanon and Beirut. Okay, and so what I've been told by experts is that this is a targeting pattern. So when the U.S. or U.S. allies need to collect information on potential targets, these RQ-4s fly in this type of a pattern, back and forth to collect targets, and then they relay that information to war planners. So this could be the beginning stages of some kind of attack on Lebanon by Israel and the U.S., and they're gathering targets to attack at a later date, potentially. And Senate Republicans blocked a bill to fund the war in Ukraine, demanding border restrictions in exchange and leaving the bill's fate uncertain. Speaker of the House of Representatives Mike Johnson, in a letter sent to the White House, stressed that there will be no additional funding for Ukraine without significant reforms to the U.S. immigration system. Any set of national security measures must begin with the protection of the border, he emphasizes in the letter. The final blow to Ukraine was delivered by Senator McConnell's statements. I stand and hope that all members of our party will vote against this bill to help Ukraine, to make it clear to them that we insist on significant border changes. So, huge news there, guys. Senate Republicans have blocked a funding bill for Ukraine. And Zelensky's chief of staff said that the postponement of U.S. aid to Kyiv would be a big risk for Ukraine to lose the war with Russia. And Putin went to the United Arab Emirates yesterday, and he's back in Russia already, and he's supposed to meet with the president of Iran today. I want to just summarize to you what he said at the United Arab Emirates. So he said relations between Russia and the UAE have reached an unprecedented level. Trade turnover between the Russian Federation and the UAE increased last year by 67%. This year, the potential is even greater. The UAE contributes to the stabilization of the situation around the world. During today's meeting, we will discuss the situation of hotspots, including Palestine and Ukraine. Russia awaits the UAE president at the BRICS summit in Kazan in autumn of 2024. The leader of the UAE called Putin a quote-unquote dear friend. The UAE is Russia's main trading partner in the world. Ukraine's counteroffensive, on which Washington and Brussels placed their main bets, failed. Internal stability in Russia under the conditions of the military special operation and external pressure does not give the West any hope for a social crisis in Russia. The global South refused to support sanctions against Russia and join the West's effort to create a global anti-Russian front. The policy of international isolation of Russia chosen by the West failed. Moscow remained one of the main centers of world politics. A political divide has emerged in the United States over military support for Ukraine, a fact complicated by the election race between Democrats and Republicans. The ability to supply arms and ammunition to Kiev from the West has been significantly reduced, both due to their lack and, in the case of the United States, for political reasons. So that's what Putin basically said. And the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that he invoked Article 99 of the UN Charter for the first time in his tenure as the Secretary General of the UN, and he's demanding an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. And I'll read to you exactly what he wrote here. He said, facing a severe risk of collapse of the humanitarian system in Gaza, I urge the Council to help avert a humanitarian catastrophe and appeal for a humanitarian ceasefire to be declared. Okay, so very, very interesting. And the U.S. military is grounding its entire fleet of V-22 Ospreys a week after a crash off the coast of California. Anthony Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, says Israel is taking important steps to better protect civilians in southern Gaza, but he added that more needs to be done. So we see all these big leaders turning on Israel, okay, Turkey, Russia, Antony Blinken, the Secretary of State, sort of being anti Israeli, even though he's Jewish himself. We have the leader of the UN. Okay, everybody's turning against Israel now. And this is all biblical, guys. It says that in the Bible that people would turn against Christians, they would turn against Jews, right would become wrong, and wrong would become right. And after Iran's Revolutionary Guards were killed in an Israeli airstrike in Syria, Iran has vowed revenge. Foreign Ministry spokesman Nasser Kanani said Monday that the IRGC forces were in Syria on an advisory mission, threatening that no action against the interests and security of Iran, as well as our advisory forces in Syria, will go unanswered. And this has been proven before. So strong words there. And a subscriber sent me an email yesterday telling me that they live near Camp Merrill in Georgia, and that the U.S. Army Rangers were very busy yesterday training in mountain warfare. And apparently, Camp Merrill is a mountain warfare training center for the Rangers. And they do a lot of low altitude helicopter jumps and extraction training. And this was actually the main training area for D-Day. So it's very interesting that we're seeing a lot of Rangers training over there now in mountain warfare. Okay. Think about what parts of the world have a lot of mountains. Okay. Potentially Guyana, Venezuela, Iran. Iran is all mountains. Okay. Lebanon. So it's possible that they're training for some kind of big war, maybe a showdown with Russia. Who knows? So that's the latest breaking news that I have. I will go live later on tonight to do a live update. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell icon below so you get notified when I post these updates. I'll see you guys then. And until next time, take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, they have brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewith.nyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged watertight buckets, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Pretty much anyone can find the space in their home to fit 6 buckets, and it'll cover you for 3 months. And it's a variety of food: lunches, breakfasts, dinners, drinks, snacks, free shipping included, 25% off their normal price. Use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get the discount. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is excellent for outdoorsmen or people who go vehicle camping. You don't have to worry about rotating anything. You don't have to worry about your preps going bad. Just store this stuff in a temperature stable location, not too cold, not too hot, stable throughout the year, and it will last 25 years. They also have a general store. If you click the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com, it'll take you to their general store where they have everything you can imagine, from potassium iodide to water filters, solar generators, solar panels, survival seeds, fire starters, anything you can imagine, it's all there. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month freeze-dried food supply. And the link is in the description below this video.